just as a reminder, if I am ever rotated out of the lobby while certain community members are in the lobby so that they can be a second host for me, didn't work like you wanted it to, then I am forced to watch the game and provide live commentary. I'm really bad at it. You may cringe. That's insane that we got Circus twice in a row. But hey, we'll see how it goes. I always say, you may cringe because I'm bad at it, but the only way to get better is to keep doing it. Looks like in this game of Circus, which is funny because we just played Circus, we got an Aru, a Maynie, a K, and a Mimyuu Jailbird. And for field events, we got Charity and Playground. So lots of free stuff going to be thrown around, especially with Aru's Hyper added into the mix. Lots of opportunity for cards, lots of opportunity for rewards from Playground. Turn 1, of course, K does the most K thing I've ever seen, kills a neutral monster. Everybody else is kind of just chilling. Looking at this cast of characters, there's some decently aggro characters. Of course, K is a hyper aggro character. Mimyuu Jailbird's got that +1 attack. Maynie can flip a switch to go angry. The only exception here is really Aru, and Aru has +2 evade, that it'll help her stay alive, but there's only so much +2 evade can do, so we'll see how Aru wants to play it, as she is, in fact, immediately, this is Caster's Curse, is immediately fought by K, but that nice evade stat protects her. Finds 3 damage in return on K. Honestly, based. Beats K over the head with her Santa's sack. As Mimyuu Jailbird, who I'm just gonna call Mimyuu from now on, is our first player to reach 10 stars. Are we not far behind them? And yeah, I was talking earlier about how Circus is a weird map. I'm not sure how to feel about it yet. It's a big map, but the time, I think I figured it out as because I was as K falls to a chicken, being lowered to 1 HP by Aru, kind of put her in an easily, killable state. Mimyuu will not be as easily killable. I was saying earlier, Circus to me feels like it has a lack of choice. I don't think that's actually true. I think it just feels like the time between choices is great. I don't know that if that's true either, though. It just to me it feels like the time between choices is large. How many panels you have to travel before you're given the opportunity for another choice. That's where I think Circus. That's what I think Circus is. The thing is that the thing that feels wrong or uncanny about Circus as compared to other boards. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. As Mimyuu is our first player to hit level 2, Aru, not that far behind her, hits level 2 immediately on the next turn as well. Both of these players, Mimyuu doesn't really care about her level in terms of needing to cast her hyper, so Mimyuu's kind of just progressing, doing her thing. Aru, on the other hand, wants to hit level 2 quickly so that she can hyper. Her hyper requires level 2. K finds another target to fight. It is Maynie. Will not find very much damage on Maynie. Maynie says, "Oh, I'm happy to be fought. Absolutely give me stacks. I got no problem with that." No probably here. The home crossroad is the main point. Yeah, it is weird that a home panel is on a choice space, I don't know that there's any other board that's like that. I think it's nice because it doesn't. Oh, hold on. As K uses a battle card to fight Aru, does not find any damage. Aru's evades are insane. Luckily, K can match the evade for now, but Aru rolled a 9 with a rainbow colored circle to avoid K's 8 with an I'm on fire. My numbers may be a little off. I apologize, but very extreme interaction. Can she do it twice, however? Another 8 coming out of K. Cannot do it twice, but goes for the defend and survives with 1 HP. How many more fights will it take for Aru to fall? Will she be able to avoid K? This is the question. Regen comes out, heals her up a little bit so she's not at 1 HP. Forces Maynie to lose a stack. That's what the sound of that sound effect was. Maynie comes in and is she gonna fight K? Does. Says, you know what? If I'm fighting you, you're not that scary. You take 3 damage. Take 3 damage and give me a stack. That's exactly how I'm gonna take command of this game. I will get a stack, and you will take 3 damage. Will Kay fight Aru with 1 health? It's to be seen, because she only rolled a 1, did not roll high enough. Will Maynie try and finish her off, you know? I think it's completely fair. Because you're either getting paid, or you're getting a stack, if you're Maynie. Aru having to make the tough decision of what card to keep, what card to get rid of. Rolls a 1, doesn't find any damage because Kay has got a nice bonus evade stat, but will get a stack out of it, as expected. Now the question is will Kay be able to put some distance between herself and Maynie? Will decides to fight Aru. Aru plays an I'm on fire. Will not end up coming into play. Kay finally, after all these turns, finds lethal damage on Aru, putting herself up to 3 wins, getting a little bit of stars out of that interaction, but it's, you know, it's getting up to 2 wins so you can get a rushed level 3. Meanwhile, on the other side of the board, playing single player is Mimyuu, hits level 3 before any other player, or most players are even level 2. Kay takes the warp panel, gets put right before her home, gets a nice clean level 2. Like I said, when you get 2 wins at level 1, when you get a nice early player kill, it's nice because you can rush level 3. The Norma requirement to get from 2 to 3 is 2 wins, so you're going to feel really good no matter what character you're playing. It doesn't even have to be an aggro character. If you get a nice early player kill, you can rush level 3. Kay herself is actually dependent on level 3, so that does actually matter because Blazing requires level 3. Some characters care more about level 3 than others. I don't have all of the neutral cards level requirement memorized, so I can't speak for that. I think most of Kay's battle cards are level 1 and don't really matter because she really only cares about I'm on Fire and Rainbow Card Circle. But I don't know for certain. Like I said, I don't have all of the card level requirements memorized. As Maynie as well finds level 2, also has the 2 wins, is ready to do the quick level 3 that cannot be taken away from her. Does lose a stack, but you know, in the race to level up, I think you're fine to lose a stack there. Kay's zooming around the board. I'm curious to know what Kay's plan here is. Does she want to fight with 2 HP? Does she want to take a break from fighting? We'll see. She's being given the opportunity to fight every player that isn't Aru. She takes the opportunity to fight Mimyuu. Mimyuu's very ahead, can't blame her. Plays an I'm on Fire, rolls a 9, and finds lethal damage. A nice kill that sends Mimyuu to get raptured back to her house. I can't describe it any other way. That's just what it looks like. Nice early 5 wins. 5 wins is the normal requirement to get up to 4. To level 4, excuse me. So, happy to have that. Happy to have Mimyuu stars as well. As I said earlier, she was playing single player, did get a nice chunk of change. Maynie chooses to fight Aru. Aru is the evade god, however, will not take any damage. Deals 1 in retaliation. Maynie, happy to have a stack. Probably exactly the interaction you want to look for. I have little doubt that that's a positive takeaway for the Maynie player. Kay kills a chicken. Mimyuu continues meandering. As for star counts, it's looking like Kay has the most. Maynie's not far behind her, and Mimyuu not far behind her. You know, a low star count from Aru doesn't really matter. Like it sucks to see charity as a field event if you're an Aru player, but you're still guaranteed 10 stars of profit for present for you. Maybe the other characters will burn their cards and you'll get a nice present for you. Mimyuu decided to fight Maynie, deals 1 damage, takes 2 in return. It's not that big of a deal. Maynie is down to 1 HP though. You know, you kind of have to make this decision as Maynie, like when it is okay to die. If it is okay to die, because death locks in your stacks. So we'll see how our Maynie player here makes their decision what they want to do. For now, they just seem to be warping around, drawing cards. Fair enough. Mimyuu was probably looking for a cheeky free kill, which, you know, is easier when you got +1 attack, but more difficult when the enemy has +1 defense. So it's about a neutral chance. I'd say it was a reasonable attempt. Can't blame them for it. Kay finds another Roboball kill, up to 7 wins. If Kay keeps this up, you know, pre-level 4, nobody is really close to level 4 yet. Maynie hits the star requirement, but she's only level 2. Kay could just decide to farm neutral monsters or to farm other players for wins to get up to 14 wins before boss even spawns. We'll see how they feel about their win count. Is forced to land on a home, goes for the next wins Norma. It makes sense. She's already got more than 5 wins, cannot have that Norma requirement taken away from her. Up to level 3. Joining Mimyuu on level 3. 2 of our players now level 3, the other 2 level 2. Still a very close game. Speaking of level 2, however, Aru had a backdoor trade. Plays it, gets up to level 3. Ends her turn. That Charity, I wasn't paying attention to see whether she top-decked it or not, but Charity coming through. Maynie with a nice jingle. Oh my god. If you hover over a card in the discard pile, it shows up behind the jail breakout from Mimyuu's Hyper. That's crazy looking. Pushing Maynie to be, I believe, our first player. No, not our first player. Well, actually, was she our first player to go over 100 stars? I wasn't paying attention to what Kay did on her previous turn. No, she was not. Mimyuu, however, uses her Hyper, moves around the board quickly, finds Aru, decides to fight Aru, but doesn't really find anything fruitful from that fight. A gift exchange played by Aru. You have to wonder now whose Hyper is where. Did that ruin anybody's grand plans? I respect the gift exchange play. It's a very Aru card to play. Nice intentional death by Maynie. Finds the 1 damage panel to get KO'd. You do, in fact, gain a stack for that. Okay, I wasn't sure. So blocking in her 4 stacks cannot be taken away from her. If she ever needs to late game rage, will be nicely set up for that, and didn't have to lose any stars to do it, so love to see it. Mimyuu's chains were broken, let the shackles be released. Right as she passes by other players, she's got a little bit of distance away from herself and the other players, so not too afraid. But Kay just played an Accelerating Sky and got a double warp and is now able to reach Mimyuu. Will she decide to fight Mimyuu? This is the question. The Accelerating Sky does give her +1 attack because she is Kay. Chooses to land on the same panel as Mimyuu, but not fight her. Interesting. Mimyuu plays a dash, says, I don't know how much I trust you. I kind of just want to get away from you. Get up to normal 4. Boss is about to spawn. We'll see how this changes our players' mindsets for panels they want to land on, but also goals they want to accomplish. Will our, soul player that's going for wins Norma, will they choose to continue to go for wins? Because wins do become a lot harder to acquire once boss is alive. We'll see. Everybody's in pretty spread apart board positions at present. Let's see, who's ready to Norma? Aru just got ready to Norma with the start of the round. Maynie is ready to Norma. Kay is ready to Norma. Mimyuu is not. Ooh, Aru lands on an assault trap, is forced to fight Kay. Kay rolls a 9 for attack, but it's evaded by the evade lord herself. Aru is insane with these evade rolls. Kay finds an evade of herself thanks to the Accelerating Sky, but man, Aru is having insane luck with these evade rolls. She's rolling insanely high. 8s, 9s, 10s, all of the above. Refuses to let herself take any damage in battle. Kay plays a Blazing. It'll last a few turns. She's probably going to have to rely on the warp panels to get 2 players to use that Blazing. This is a big map. Big maps are generally, they don't play too well with super aggro characters, any +2 attack characters. Maynie chooses intentionally take damage as opposed to playing the background. I respect it. That's a stack. Kay is the one who got Raging Madness. I was wondering this earlier when the gift exchange was played. Where did everybody's hypers go? It turns out Kay had both her own and Maynie's hyper. Raging Madness has been played by Kay. We have no idea who the target is. Can we make educated guesses? I have no idea, to be honest, because there's 2 strats when it comes, or there's probably multiple strats, but in my head, I have 2 ideas for how you like to use a Maynie hyper. Do you target the person you actually want to kill because it means you will easily be able to do so and take half of their stars, or do you target the person who is least likely to die so that you can kill everybody else? Yeah, you're getting star intake at a lowered value because you're not killing your target, but it's still star intake. Star intake is star intake, and that can't be taken away. If you missed it there while I was ranting, Kay got to play a Playground and got a win as her reward, putting her up to 8 wins. jury's still out. We're still waiting with bated breath on what goals they will pursue. As Mimyuu finishes up her mushroom game, her mushroom dance, gets 2 cards out of the deal. Aru says, "Can you stop drawing cards, please? I just want to hyper and profit from it." Can you just use your damn cards that are in your hand? As she herself lands on home panel. Second player to be level 4. We got 2 players on level 4, 1 on level 3, and 1 on level 2. Maynie has the opportunity to land on a home panel, but Aru's standing on it, so she decides to fight Aru anyway. Aru plays Dark Side of Business, meaning, well, she's going to evade the attack and try and steal some stars from Maynie. But Maynie actually evades the Dark Side of Business, the -1 attack from Aru being just enough to ensure that happens. Kay finds a really nice warp with 8 attack, finds both Aru and Maynie, will deal lethal damage to Aru in 1 shot, taking half of her stars and 2 wins. Will she be able to do the same to Maynie? It turns out Aru was not Kay's target, neither was Maynie. She does actually not steal half stars, she only steals 25% of stars from both Aru and Maynie, but at this point it's not about the stars, it's about the wins. She shoots herself up to 10 wins. This confirms Mimyuu as the target of Kay's Raging Madness. Finds boss panel, rolls an 11 against the boss, but does fall to the boss, loses half of her stars. At this point, I think she's okay with that. I think she says, you know what, I'm focused on wins. At this point, I can kill any player who's in front of me with both the Raging Madness active and, you know, Accelerating Sky was active. It's probably dead by now. And Blazing as well. Does she have any Blazing stacks left? She does not. She will revive with none, but you're still a +3 attack character when you're swinging at folks. So, you know, 4 more wins is all it's going to take. You can get 2 from Mimyuu, 1 from the other players. Maynie had a Blazing, so she plays a Blazing now. Gonna see if she can kill Aru. Just kidding. She played the Dark Side of Business. Is actually just stealing money from Aru. Interesting. Okay, steals a lot actually. Rolled a very high number and takes 1 damage in return, getting a stack. I did not know that Kay lost all Blazing on death, but that's good to know. Money banked, declares the Kay player. She says, you know what, I'm the only person who's going to be able to kill the boss anyway, so if I lose any money to the boss, it's just money I'm going to get back later. That's base. It's quite the declaration of war you have there. All players level 4 except for Maynie, but Maynie is hitting level 4. I commentaried, cursed it. All players level 4 now. She does lose a stack, but hey, you got 4 stacks. You got a lot of stars. You're probably happy. Probably not too hurt to lose 1 stack. Pretty much, like 99% of cards now usable in the game by all players. We could see some crazy things happen now that everybody's level 4. Speaking of crazy things, Mimyuu fights Aru. Doesn't find anything with it though. 2 evades. A rather boring encounter, if I do say so myself. Aru says, I'm getting the hell out of here. Warps away. Maynie with a nice chunk of change will play backdoor trade. Now that all players were tied on the same level, Maynie could play a backdoor trade. She's probably had it for a long time to get up to level 5, be our first player at level 5 at 140 stars. Only 13 stars ahead of the second highest star player. Kay lands on a heat 300%. Very notable, very important thing to remember. Kay is passive. She is not sad at all to have -2 defense for the next couple turns. Sorry, -4 defense as she plays a rainbow-colored circle. Mimyuu says, I'm not afraid of you. Rolls a 9. Instantly one-shots the K. Says, you marked me? I'll show you what you get for marking me. Finds a nice kill, up to 145. Just still a teensy tiny bit behind Maynie in terms of how many stars she has. Had to spend a little bit of stars on the I'm on fire in that last battle. Maynie is 31 stars. Oh, sorry, 24 stars away from. I was gonna say lethal, but I guess that works. 24 stars away from lethal. Aru lands on a heat. Kay is such a funny character. Including heat in your deck because you actively want to land on it is such a funny concept. You know, the idea of getting to benefit positively from a usually negative trap card is actually really cool, and I think that's a neat feature of her character that not a lot of characters can do. You know, all players except for Aru down to only one card in hand. It might be a nice, very profitable possibility for Aru to use her own hyper to profit off of this. See what stars she can scrounge together. If she has one, I don't know. Maynie plays a Raging Madness of herself. We've been listening to nothing but the Raging theme for this long. No idea who Maynie's going to target. It was a very expensive card cast. So she is no longer, you know, 1 turn worth of bonus, or 2 turns worth of bonus away from the win. But we have no idea who she targeted. She is very well equipped to murder anybody. Players must now make very tough decisions on where they want to land. Mimyuu, for example, choosing movement-based panels solely so that she could put some space between her and Mimyuu, or and Maynie, sorry. Both characters start with M, so I get them confused. A gift exchange played by Aru. I have to imagine that means Aru didn't have a hyper in hand. All we can do is wonder about how that affected things. You know, Maynie is very lucky to have just played her own hyper so that it couldn't get gift exchanged away. But she had another Raging Madness played by Mimyuu. 3 of our characters now raging. Maynie, Kay, Mimyuu, all 3 of them raging. Mimyuu and Kay love the stats they're getting for this. Granted, Maynie is getting a lot more as Mimyuu finds a home panel, gets up to normal 5. She's significantly further away from ending the game than Maynie is. Maynie only needs 10 more stars, is raging, so there's no shot of anybody killing her. She's raging with, what, 6 stacks? Yeah. She's not going to die anytime soon. Finds Mimyuu alone, fights her, takes her out. That was not her target, but that doesn't matter. That's all she needed. It was more than 10 stars, and it was good game, indeed. GG's. Just wanted your win, Norma? Oh, no. That's Circus.